you guys, welcome to 2022. This is my first video of the year. I took a much needed break and I'm glad to be back. We're going to be opening up this year with a Q&A. It's just a good chance for you guys to get to know me a little more and answer questions that you guys have been dying to know the answer of. So the other day I put a box up on my Instagram asking you guys to ask me any questions that you guys had, and you guys delivered. And I'm opening up about a few things that I've not talked about here on my channel before. Before we get started, I would just like to thank you all for being here. If you have not yet subscribed and liked the video, please do so. It really helps my channel out and I don't want you to miss any videos that I have to post. So let's get started. So I got my questions here on my phone. I screenshotted all of your questions that you have for me. We're gonna start out with the most simple question and then we're gonna get into some things that are pretty deep. Yeah, so anyway, what's my favorite color? Blue. I don't really know what else I could say about my favorite color, but it used to be pink a long time ago. It is not anymore. It has been blue for years. Love it, all the shades, favorite color. Do I miss nursing? And was it hard to leave my nursing career? So if you guys did not know, I am an RN. I worked as a registered nurse for a little over 3 years and I decided to step away from my job and work for my brother full-time. I left in February of 2021 and I have not worked as a nurse since. I know people are gonna ask, so I might as well address this right now. Yes, my plan is to keep up my nursing license. I don't miss it. I miss people and kind of like patient interaction, that kind of thing. But overall, I do not miss healthcare. Healthcare does not align with a lot of my values of life right now. And on top of it, there's just a lot of things that I wanted to experience in life now. I have my whole life to be a nurse and I can always go back to it. And I know that down deep in my heart. This is a good one that I haven't shared with you guys, but a few of you have noticed. I've noticed it in my comments. Am I still editing for my brother? I noticed he has been doing them. So the month of December, I pretty much had the entire month off, and then I actually have all of the month of January off from working for him. So farming, well, okay, first, let me back up. If you did not know, my brother has a farming YouTube channel. If you don't know much about farming in the winter slows down quite a bit. And so in general, there's just not much content for me to edit and he has a lot more time on his hands. So he asked if I'd be willing to just take this month off, kind of focus on my own things, my own projects, rest a little bit, especially after editing for harvest season. It was a lot mentally and here we are now. I have the month off. It has been great so far, just the few days that we're into it, and I will pick it back up in February. How come you don't make any more YouTube videos? And I don't know if this question means why don't I make more YouTube videos or legit why don't I make any more? Because I do make videos. In general, I post weekly, but if it's more YouTube videos, that is a good question because YouTube is really hard in the sense that you kind of have to have this balance of what am I going to film and what am I going to show of my life. I don't like to film literally everything I do. One, it's hard because then I'm throwing a camera in somebody else's face that may not want to be filmed, but I would like to be present in the moment because when you are filming, it does take a lot of mental effort away from what you're enjoying. Not all the time, but for certain aspects of my life, I have just decided to put a boundary up of I am not going to share this part of my life, I'm going to enjoy this part of my life, and if I feel called to show something, then I will. So anyway, I thank you all for being supportive of that. It is a lot to film what your life is about, and I try to show aspects of it that are encouraging. And I've just kind of taken a different avenue with my line of work here on YouTube. But I would like to highlight real quick, I did make a Patreon that I am planning on using for extra content that is not going to be on any other social platform. And that will also include extra videos that I can sit down and do more one-on-one and don't have to worry about an algorithm and can kind of show more in-depth things that I'm doing in my life. So if you're interested in that, I have it linked down below and you can check it out. I think I'll answer one more question before I hit the burning question that you guys are all dying to know, because Literally 90% of my questions were this question. But first, what are my 5 favorite things to do? So I feel like this could be taken so many ways, but if I were to just answer the question how I want to answer it, I would say thrift shopping is number 1, relaxing and watching movies at night. I love gardening. I love planning anything. If someone's like, can you plan me a baby shower? Can you help plan this? All there for it. And I would probably say my 5th one is organizing. If I could do that as a full-time job and help people organize, that would be it. I love it. It is so fun. Mixed with a little bit of remodeling, that's like my dream life. All right, drum roll please. The question that everyone wants to know. I seriously got this question asked in so many different forms. This is pretty personal. Starting a family soon. When do you want kids? Do you plan on having kids? When are you going to have kids? I've been asked this question pretty much since I got married. And first, I would like to address one thing, that just because a couple is young and they got married doesn't mean they need to have kids right away. And I know that is nobody's intention with the question, and I will get to the answer here in a second. But anyway, I do think it is important to really think about that question when we are asking people, because you never know what someone is going through. Now, luckily for me, I'm really chill and I don't even care when anybody asks, but I just think it's something that we all need to think about when asking people. The answer to that question is, God, do you know the answer? I don't know the answer. We have not been preventing for a long time and it has not happened yet. I am not worried about it. Jay's not worried about it. It will happen when it's supposed to happen. We're excited to someday be parents, and for now, we just sit and wait and know that it is not God's timing. When we first started trying, it was actually, many months before the pandemic ever hit, but then the pandemic hit and it was kind of like okay, God, I see what you're doing here. It's just not a good time. Then I started into all these remodel projects and that took a lot of my time. And it's like, okay, God, I see what you're doing. You're giving me the time to do things that I could still do with a child, but it's just gonna change it up a little bit and may take a little longer. And then I was able to pull away from my nursing job and I was like, okay, I see what you're doing here. You kind of opened up a different path for me. It will happen when it happens. We're excited to be parents someday, but for now, we sit and wait on the good Lord's timing. So this question was another one that was asked a ton, and that is, what is the next remodel project? So there's actually a few things coming to 2022 that I'm pretty excited about. My next remodel project is actually not one that I'm doing for myself. It's not even here in my own home. It is for somebody else that I am working with to help remodel their bedroom, and so I'm actually really excited about that. This will be a good opportunity for me to work with somebody else and kind of go outside of my comfort zone. Then this year, we should be doing the kitchen probably sometime this winter. I need to start getting some ideas. I have a few, but then also I would like to finish our spare bedroom. It's my least favorite room in the entire house, and that one will be pretty simple. It'll be pretty much just like our bedroom. Is Jay, my husband, as organized as me, or at least pretends to be? So here's the thing. I'm organized, but I fall into the same mistake of making the same messes every single day. And that is something that I'm really trying to work on. But every day I'm putting away the same things and I'm like, I need to quit doing that and just put things away when I'm done with them. And Jay is actually really good about putting things away. He could probably care less if things had like little organizers and things that I do. But for the most part, he's a really clean guy, picks up his stuff. And there's actually things that I need to work on. Do I have any adventures planned for 2022? Yeah, I actually have a few, and most of them are out of state, so that's kind of fun. I'm going to Florida this year with my brother's girlfriend. We are taking a week just to relax on the beach, have some girl time, shop, have fun. We have a few things planned. And then I'm in a wedding in Arkansas this summer, so that will be fun. My mom and I are going to be taking a girls trip out of it, and we'll be going there for a week. And then we usually do family vacation, which we have no plans of that yet. And then Jay and I are hoping to go to Utah at some point. How strong is your and the rest of your family's faith? Do you all go to church or pray before meals, etc.? All right. So I grew up going to church my whole life. We actually used to be Catholic, then we switched over and started going to a Methodist church, and now, at least how I say it, is we just go to a Christian church. So my husband actually has a preaching position at that church. He is a special ed teacher, but then preaches on Sundays. So we have that. So we go to church pretty much every single Sunday. The best way I could put it is my faith has grown so much in 2021. I joined a women's Bible study, and it has been like the most life-changing thing that has happened to me thus far in my life. If you are thinking about joining a women's group of any sort, I highly suggest it. It has challenged me in so many ways, grown me into a better person, a better relationship with God, and it has just been the best. I don't know how else to say this other than saying like my life feels at peace. I have actually dealt with anxiety in the past. This last year, my anxiety was like the worst it had ever been. And someday, if you guys would like, I would love to make a video kind of talking about my experience with anxiety, what I ended up doing to like get through it. So if that is something you are interested in, please let me know down below, and I would love to put something together about that, because mental health is something that I find so important and is near and dear to my heart, and I would love to open up and help others where I can. What prompted you to decide to use organic cleaners and essential oils? My mom has used essential oils for years, and that is where I learned the benefits of them and got to like see firsthand that they work, and pretty much because I was given no choice. Like it was, throw this oil on, you're not getting ibuprofen, and they're like, oh, this works. It's not everybody's thing. Some people like a more conventional way of medicine. I have chosen to go down this path. I just really believe that we are the gatekeepers of our home, and what we allow into it is our choice. So for me, I just find it so important to find natural ways to clean, because if I can get the same desired effect from a product that I know is not going to cause me harm compared to a product that is filled with chemicals that has, warning labels and possible side effects, things like that, I have just decided, like, why would I pick the alternative that I know is not good compared to something that's going to do the exact same thing that is fine for me. Like my cleaner, I could literally spray in my mouth, and I can promise someone that uses Clorox cleaner is not gonna be spraying it in their mouth. 2 more questions. Would I recommend moving to Iowa? So if you didn't know, I live in Iowa, out in the country, and it is simply the best. But here's the thing, I would recommend it for a lot of reasons. It is a pretty open state, it is beautiful, we experience seasons, and the people are friendly. The state has a lot more to offer than I feel like it gets credit for. As for not recommending it, there is not many things that I wouldn't recommend about it. But if you're a person that does not like the cold, then I would not recommend moving to Iowa. And the last question that I have is, can we see more of your garden this year? And the answer to that is yes. I would love to show more of my garden. I absolutely love being out there. Have even considered expanding it this year. Don't really know yet because I'm hoping to get chickens. I just gotta kind of take on one thing at a time. I am really good about taking on lot of things. But yes, I would love to show more, and on my Patreon this summer, I'm really hoping to open up another avenue to be able to show more one-on-one gardening things with more tips, and just to be able to have more of like an intimate video to be able to show. This will give me the opportunity to really one-on-one talk gardening with the people that like want to hear it, and it has open like discussions on there. Anyway, be staying tuned for that this summer because I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited to get back outside and garden. You kind of go stir crazy in the winter around here. But anyway, thank you guys so much for submitting questions, for watching this video. I hope I answered some questions that a lot of you guys have been having for a while. I know the kid thing has been a question for a long time, pretty much since I've started my channel, and someday I would love to get into it more. Just for now, I have not decided to really open up a lot about all the things, but hopefully it gives a little bit of closure to the question. And anyway, I will see you guys in the next one.